Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rainer. Today is October the 31st and on Wednesday, 3 days from now, the Booker Prize of 2021 will be handed out. Probably the English language's most prestigious literary award. So let's predict the winner. I have to say that I was not one of those booktubers out there that who have read the whole long list. I know that many of you have done this. For example, of course, Katie Book has done. Kieran from Katie Books has done it. He is the Booker Boy himself, the self-proclaimed Booker Boy. Then I think that Paula from Draw Your Book has read many of those titles. Bob the Bookerer has read a lot of titles, and some other booktubers have done so as well. Eric Carl Anderson has, I think, not read the whole long list, but a lot of titles. I will put a link down below to their videos. So I haven't read them all. I have started reading at least 4 of the 6 titles that are on the shortlist, where one of them will be given the award on Wednesday. So let's get started with a list here. I have a good idea about what the books are about. I have a good idea about how the books are written. I have read not one of them until the end, but I have a very good idea what they are about, and I have a hunch who might be winning the Booker Prize of 2021. And I own 2 of the books. One of the 2 books is on my TBR for the rest of the year. The one which is not, which will probably make the first TBR of the year of 2022, and if it wins, it might jump up a little, is A Passage North by Anuk Aradpragasam from Sri Lanka. This book is nominated for the award, and I have seen, I have heard, and I have read a lot of mixed reviews, mixed reactions to this novel, which deals with a young man traveling north in his small country on that island, traveling north to the funeral of a, I think, relative. And on his way, we get to know a lot of thoughts, and mostly thoughts, because that's what people have said. There's not much plot in this novel by Anuk Aradpragasam. Since I have it here, it starts like this. The present we assume is eternally before us, one of the few things in life from which we cannot be parted. It overwhelms us in the painful first moments of entry into the world, when it is still too new to be managed or negotiated, remains by our side during childhood and adolescence and those years before the weight of memory and expectation, and so it is sad and a little unsettling to see that we become, as we grow older, much less capable of touching, grazing, or even glimpsing it, that the closest we seem to get to the present are those brief moments we stop to consider the spaces our bodies are occupying, the intimate warmth of the sheets in which we wake, the scratched surface of the window on a train taking in somewhere else, as if the only way we can hold time still is by trying physically to prevent the objects around us from moving. I love that first sentence of this book, and Anuk Aradpragasam's thoughts about the present. That is a beautiful a beautiful idea of starting this novel with. So it surely is a contender. With not much happening in a plot. The Promise by Damon Galgut is on my TBR for the rest of the year of 2021. This is a South African writer, a white South African writer. He has been on the Booker shortlist, I think, twice before. I read one of these 2 novels in a strange room about a young gay man traveling through different countries in the southern parts of Africa, outside South Africa. And that was really an interesting book. And I also believe that The Promise is a good contender for the Booker Prize. This is a book about a man about a woman, a black woman who has worked for a white family almost all of her life, and she was promised to get a house as a gift. But then the promise is sort of taken aback. I think what's the starting point of this novel. The promise, which is a picture of today's South Africa. And knowing how good the writing of Damon Galgut is, I think that he is a very strong contender. The 4 other books that are nominated, that are on the shortlist, are The Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead from the United States, which is a 600-page plus novel about an aviator, a female aviator who disappeared in Antarctica, but also about a woman, an actress, having to play her in a movie that is made many, many decades later, and the relationship between these 2 women that have never met. That is a very interesting book. I read the start of it and I had to return to the library, and I was very impressed by the narrative quality, the narrative power of Maggie Shipstead. Another woman who is on the list nominated is No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood, a very short novel, I think like 200 pages, might be even a little bit less than 200 pages, a novel that I absolutely disliked. And I know there's a great, if I compare the plus and minus opinions that I have seen on the web, on BookTube and elsewhere, I would say that the negative dominates a little bit, maybe like 55 to 45%. Some people are really like Zim from Zim Reads. I can put a link down below. He has read also a lot of the Booker finalists, maybe all of them. He's a great fan of the book. He loves the book, but a lot of other people don't like it, and I didn't like it. I read the first 50 pages and I DNF'd it because the snippets that Lockwood has written, sort of Jenny Offel-like snippets, but much worse than Jenny Offel. I think Jenny Offel, who does this in high quality, Lockwood didn't do it in a high quality. So I really wonder why this book got on the shortlist. But I imagine the reason is that the juries everywhere are still looking for the great internet novel to be found, to be awarded, and they take a shot with Patricia Lockwood. So that was the 4th novel that is nominated. The 5th one would be Bewilderment by Richard Powers, which I haven't gotten yet. It's still on the queue. I'm still in the queue at the library, still waiting for it. This is a novel that could be a real contender for the title because he has won the Pulitzer Prize before. Mr. Richard Powers, he has apparently written a book about the future of the planet, about a man, a teacher, and his son, his very talented and very special son, looking for ways to escape the threat that our planet is facing right now and also in the next couple of years. Glasgow, the conference that will start now about climate change, to stop climate change. I think it will be a catastrophe, and many other people believe the same thing, although we still can have a little bit of hope. And the final and 6th finalist for the Booker Prize of 2021 is the only Brit on the list, is Nadifa Mohamed and her novel The Fortune Man. I had it here, I didn't get to it. It's a novel about I think the last person that was executed in Great Britain, who was a Somali British man who was accused of a murder that he probably didn't commit. So it's a true crime background for this novel of Nadifa Mohamed. I haven't heard so much about this book. It would be sort of a surprise winner. So who wins? Who wins the Booker? Who do I think wins the Booker? My prediction has to come in now, right? Last year I predicted the winner. I said Shuggie Bain is going to win. But this year, will I be successful again? This is a great writer, I'm sure. I love the beginning of this novel, but it might be too philosophical, and I think the jury will decide between Damon Galgut, The Promise, and Nadifa Mohamed, The Fortune Man, where we have a black British writer. She could be the first black British writer to win the Booker Prize alone. Because in 2019, Booker did effed up. You can say that because instead of giving the prize to the novel that deserved it alone, Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, instead of giving the award to a Black British woman for the first time, write history, and give the prize to the best book, they decided for a split. They decided for a draw between Bernardine Evaristo and Margaret Atwood. Margaret Atwood's novel, The Testament. So I think that Booker could use this chance this year to give Nadifa Mohamed The Fortune Man. So it's either The Promise by Damon Galgut or The Fortune Man by Nadifa Mohamed. And since I'm known for my adventurous predictions, I say Nadifa Mohamed The Fortune Man is going to do it on Wednesday. That's the winner of the Booker Prize, and that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching this. Write down in the comments below. You have time until Wednesday, like 7 o'clock or so British time, to say who your winner would be. And then I see you again very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.